Tegan Dobby of design company IA Design was impressed by number 5.
It's a gorgeous project. It's really quite stunning with what they've done with the glass. They've created this double void through the entry. They've tied in the stone and the brickwork. Really quite stunning in its detail. The cow is a wonderful talking point. Love it or hate it, it gets some attention.
What we have here is a great example of a contemporary intervention in a historic area. Good morning, James.
Good morning, Nick.
A unique project.
Well, the building is an 1880s terrace which is set between two local heritage buildings. It's only a very narrow, small build, 4.2 metres wide. Our brief was to provide accommodation for a pizzeria and a small office upstairs.
I can't help but notice you've got a cow hanging from the ceiling.
Well, the cow is quirky, but it is deliberate as well. It is about just asking people to think, where does our food come from? Part of our design brief was to use local materials wherever we could in this building. So we've used slate on the floor, we've got copper and brass that's been used for the counters and for detailing. And over on the wall, which used to be plastered and painted, what we did is we took off the plaster in there and revealed the stonework behind it. Things like the brass will patina in time, the slate will patina in time, and they'll look better. Well, Nick, this is a small studio space we have upstairs. The timber is a local South Australian timber called Messmate. When the supplier sent us the timber, he sent us some of these boards here which were plain. We sent them back. We said, no, we want the timbers that have got a lot of expression in them and a lot of character in them. We've used the same materials that we've used downstairs and we've brought them upstairs. So this is brass. It's a crafted piece, it's not off the shelf. Again, it patinas and changes in time. So you see the character of how the bench is being used. This is a small courtyard, which is part of the overall planning of the building. What it does is it extends the inside to the outside. It gives quite a nice flow through the whole length of the building.
Interestingly, another renovation project, and again one of my favourites, a really beautiful mix here of materials and a very clever balance between the old building and the new, and coming together in a very harmonious way.
It's a great example of a sandstone Adelaide villa, complete with the wonderful high pressed metal ceilings, the plaster ornament, the polished floorboards. It's a pretty typical layout for this sort of house too, with a long central corridor, rooms off each side, and originally it had a block lean-to extension on the back as well. For this project, we had an excellent, open-minded client who was very receptive to our ideas. We were respectful to the original house, but out the back, he asked for something exciting, something contemporary, and something different.
Wow, this is totally unexpected.
Yes, this is where old meets new. The puzzle pieces of the old original house interlock together with the new extension. The dining room, which straddles between the old and original and the new polished floor area. Behind us is the lounge, which is a sunny retreat in winter. The kitchen, which is a hub where you can see what's going on everywhere. Below us is a den, the home theatre. It's a cave, it's a hidden away secret. And just down the stairs here is the sunken living room, which is all about connecting and touching down in the garden.
This is the outside area.
Yeah, we took a different approach to the usual extension to the back of a residence. We've really tried to maximise the space we've got and really bring the outdoor activities hard up towards the existing house and wrap the new work around that area. The veil's there for solar control to help protect the living room from the harsh summer sun. But the veil also comes up into this point which focuses the view to a neighbouring park and the treetops.
To many, the decision between old and new is a very difficult one. This project shows how to achieve the best of both worlds.
Oddgy's a really successful project. Adelaide hasn't seen anything like this before. It's actually taken more of the Tuscany Italian type of vibe and put it into a really commercial building without it feeling that way. I know the amount of effort they've had to transform it, and it looks effortless.
The architects were presented with a difficult space, a narrow frontage and a deep floor plan. Let's see how they've helped create a restaurant that's been voted one of the best in the world. Dave, wow, this is quite a long, narrow space, but it seems as though you've tried to accentuate that.
Yeah, oggi's our modern interpretation of all things Italian, so we've really tried to reference those little delicatessens in Italy with its black and white checkered floor, the signage references, the arches.
And I love this coffered ceiling.
Yeah, the coffered ceiling with the centralised bars, really to try and draw your eye to the rear of the space, to that main dining room.
Graham, what a surprise. This space is amazing.
Yeah, well, it was really about juxtaposing the space at the front because we've got so much openness back here and this beautiful natural light that we get through the existing sawtooth roof.
And you've got some greenery up here as well.
Yeah, that was in reference to the Italian piazzas, so we were really trying to capture that outdoor feeling within the internal dining space. And then through the use of the arbor, we were able to create these communal dining spaces and then pushing those more intimate spaces to the perimeter.
I love that the diner can see the kitchen in action.
Yeah, well, that's part of the brief from the client group, was to put the kitchen on display. So what we've done here is tried to reference the shop fronts of Italy through the use of the butcher shop and the pasta making area.
And you've used quite a muted colour palette.
Yeah, the material palette's quite strict. We've used galvanised steel, white set plaster, some American oak to add some warmth to the space, which really supports that lunchtime dining experience through a light and bright interior.
This is an example of how clever design can create a beautiful space and a world-class dining experience.